Hello, everyone. This is Hannah. This is sunset now already. I just try to read Genesis chapter 34. From Genesis chapter 34, it will be the story, one of the story about Leah, Dinah, and the other story. And maybe I will read tonight, this evening, 34 to maybe 10, chapter 2. I will try the story by story. So that's why I repeat after and after. So let's go. The 34, chapter 1. And Dinah, excuse me, I brought a new rose from my garden. And then this is kind of grass. So it looks like a fog trees, fog flowers, but it's really good. So I just show you. Thank you. 34 verse 1. And Dinah, the daughter of Leah, which she bare unto Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. 2. And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hittite prince of the country saw her, he took her and and lay with her and deprived her.
And Shechem spake unto his
and he saw clave unto Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the damsel, and spake kindly unto the damsel. For the Shechem spake unto his father Hamor, saying, Get me this damsel to wife. And Jacob heard that he had deprived Dinah, his daughter. Now his sons were with his cattle at the field, and Jacob held his peace until they are come. 6. Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out unto Jacob to commune with him. 7. And the sons of Jacob came out of the field when they heard it, and the men were grieved, and they were very wroth, because he had wrought folly in Israel in lying with Jacob's daughter, which thing ought not to be done. 8. And Hamor communed with them, saying, The soul of my son Shechem longs for your daughter. I pray you give him to wife. 9. And make marriages with us, and give your daughters unto us, and take our daughters unto you. 10. And you shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you there, and trade you therein, and get you possessions therein. 11. And Shechem said unto her father and unto her brethren, Let me find grace in your eyes, and what you shall say unto me I will give. 12. Ask me never so much dowry and gift, and I will give according as ye shall say unto me, but give me the damsel to wife. 13. And the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor his father deceitfully, and said, because he had defied Dinah their sister. 14. And they said unto them, We cannot do this thing to give our sister to one that is uncircumcised, for that were a reproach unto us. 15. But in this will we consent unto you, if you will be as we be, and every male of you be circumcised. 16. Then will we give our daughters unto you, and we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people. 17. But if you will not hearken unto us to be circumcised, then we take our daughter, and we will be gone. 18. And their words pleased Hamor and Shechem, Hamor's son. 19. And the young man deferred not to do the thing, because he had delight in Jacob's daughter, and he was more honorable than all the house of his father. 20. And Hamor and Shechem his son came unto the gate of their city, and communed with the men of their city, saying, 21. These men are peaceable with us. Therefore, let them there in the land and trade therein. For the land, behold, it is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us for wives, and let us give them our daughters. 22. Only herein will the men consent unto us, for to dwell with us, to be one people, if every male among us be circumcised as they are circumcised. 23. Shall not their cattle and their substance and every beast of theirs be ours? Only let us consent us them, and they will dwell with us. 24. And unto Hamor and unto Shechem his son hearkened all that went out of the gate of his city, and every male was circumcised, all that went out of the gate of his city. 25. And it came to pass on the third day, that when they were sore, that two of the sons of Jacob, Simeon and Levi, Dinah's brethren, took each man his sword, and came upon the city boldly, and slew all the males. 26. And they slew Hamor and Shechem his son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah out of the Shechem's house, and went out. 27. The sons of Jacob came upon the slain, and spoiled a city, because they had defiled their sister. 28. They took their sheep and their oxen and their asses, and that which was in the city, and that which was in the field. 29. And all their wealth and all their little ones and their wives took they captive, and spoiled even all that was in the house. 30. And Jacob said to Simeon and Levi, Ye yet troubled me to make me to stink among the inhabitants of the land. Inhabitants of the land among the Canaanites and the Perizzites, and I being few in number, they shall gather themselves together against me and slay me, and I shall be destroyed. I and my house. Genesis chapter 35, verse 1. I will go. And God said unto Jacob, Arise, go up to Bethel, and dwell there, and make there an altar unto God that appeared unto thee when thou fleddest from the face of Esau thy brother. 35, verse 2. Then Jacob said unto his household and to all that were with him, Put away the strange gods that are among you, and be clean, and change your garments. 3. And let us arise and go up to Bethel, and I will make there an altar unto God, who answered me in the day of my distress, and was with me in the way which I went. 4. And they gave unto Jacob all the strange gods which were in their hand, and all their earrings which were in their ears, and Jacob hid them under the oak which was by Shechem. 5. And they journeyed, and the terror of God was upon the cities that were round about them, and they did not pursue after the sons of Jacob. 6. So Jacob came to Luz, which is in the land of Canaan, that is better, he and all the people that were with him. 7. And he built there an altar, and called the place Elveder, because there God appeared unto him when he fled from the face of his brother. I'm sorry, I'm a second language user, so sometimes I read not correctly, but thank you, understand me. So verse 8, but Deborah, Rebecca's nurse, died, and she was buried beneath Bethel under an oak, and the name of it was called Elobacher. 9. And God appeared to Jacob again when he came out of Penadram, Pedanaram, and blessed him. 10. And God said unto him, Thy name is Jacob, thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel. 35, 10, 11. And God said unto him, I am God Almighty, be fruitful and multiply, a nation and a company of nations shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins. 12. And the land which I gave Abraham and Isaac to thee I will give it, and to thy seed after thee will I give the land. 13. And God went up from him in the place where he talked with him. 14. And Jacob set up a pillar in the place where he talked with him, even a pillar of stone, and he poured the drink offering thereon, and he poured oil thereon. 15. And Jacob called the name of the place where God spake with him Bethel. 16. And they journeyed from Bethel, and there was but a little way to come to Ephrathah. And Rachel travailed, and she had hard labor. 17. And it came to pass when she was in hard labor that the midwife said unto her, Fear not, thou shalt have this son also. 18. And it came to pass as her soul was in departing, for she died, that she called his name Benoni, but his father called him Benjamin. 19. And Rachel died and was buried in the way to Ephrath, which is Bethlehem. Ephrath, Bethlehem. 35, 19, 20. And Jacob set a pillar upon her grave, that is the pillar of Rachel's grave unto this day. 21. And Israel journeyed and spread his tent beyond the tower of Adar. 22. And it came to pass when Israel dwelt in that land that Reuben went and lay with Bilhah, his father's concubine, and Israel heard it. Now the sons of Jacob were 12. 23. The sons of Leah, Reuben, Jacob's firstborn, and Simeon, and Levi, and Judah, and Issachar, and Zebulun. 24. The sons of Rachel, Joseph, and Benjamin. 25. And the sons of Bilhah, Rachel's handmaid, Dan and Naphtali. 26. And the sons of Jephthah, Leah's handmaid, Gad and Asher. These are the sons of Jacob, Leah's handmaid, Gad, and which were Jacob, which were born to him in Padanaram. And Bethlehem. 27. And Jacob came unto Isaac his father, unto Mamre, unto the city of Arba, which is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac sojourned. 28. And the days of Isaac were 180 years. 29. The last verse of 35. And Isaac gave up the ghost and died, and was gathered unto his people, being old and full of days. And his sons Esau, yeah, and Jacob buried him. This review 36 start now. Just a moment. I will shut my window because the already sunset. So let's go the change. So I shut my window. Yes, I did it. So, and Genesis 36, 1. Now these are the generations of Esau. Who is Adam? Edom, Esau. Yeah, the different pronouns. My language is Esau, but the Esau. Yeah. 36:2. Esau took his wives of the daughters of Canaan, Ada, the daughter of Elon, the Hittite, and Aholibama, the daughter of Anna, and daughter of Zibeon, and Hibita, 3, and then Beshima, Ismael's daughter, sister of Nebajo, and Ho, and Nebaho, then 4, and Ada bear 2 Esau or Eliphaz, and then Beshima bear Reuben, and 5 Aholibama bear Josh, and Jalam, and Korah. These are the sons of Esau, which were born unto him in the land of Canaan. All the behind of the names. And the 6, and Esau took his wives and his sons and his daughters and all the persons of his house and his cattle and all his beasts and all his substance which he had got in the land of Canaan, and went into the country from the faith of his brother Jacob. 7. For their riches were more than that they might dwell together, and the land wherein they were strangers could not bear them because of their cattle. 8. Thus dwelt Esau in Mount Seir. Esau is at Edom. 9. And these are the generations of Esau, the father of the Edomites in Mount Seir. 10. These are the names of Esau's sons: Eliphaz, the sons of Ada, the wife of Esau; Reuel, the son of Basema, the wife of Esau; 11. And the sons of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zepho, and Getham, and Kenaz; 12. And Timnah was concubine to Eliphaz, Esau's son, and she bare to Eliphaz Amalek. These were the sons of Ada, Esau's wife. 13. And these are the sons of Reuel, Naha, and Jerah, Sema, and Mijah. These were the sons of Beshma, Esau's wife. 14. And these were the sons of Aholibama, the daughter of Anna, daughter of Zibeon, and Esau's wife. She bare to Esau Jeshi, Jalam, Yalam, Yeshi, Yalam, and Korah. 15. These were dukes of the sons of Esau, and the sons of Eliphaz, and the firstborn son of Esau, Duke Temman, Duke Omar, Duke Jepho, Duke Kenaz, Duke Korah, Duke Getham, and Duke Amalek. These are the dukes that came over Eliphaz in the land of Edom. These were the sons of Ada. Because of God loves all of them, He still remembered. Let us read them. Their names is so difficult to pronounce. Even I forget all of them, but God, right? God remember this all name by his people. Yeah. So because of his love for them. 17, and these are the sons of Ruel, Esau's son, Duke Naha, Duke Jerah, Duke Sema, Duke Misa. These are the dukes that came of Ruel in the land of Edom. These are the sons of Beshema, Esau's wife. Even Esau's all the offsprings. God, I don't understand God's love, but I have kids, 3 kids, and then 5 grandkids. But though one of them, they just left because of they did the bad things. But I still remember all of them. So like our, family, the relationship, your friend like that. So that's why I can just understand these or names, God wrote the word of God, the Bible. The 18, and these are the sons of Aholima, Esau's wife, Duke Jeshua. The 3 times more these names just repeat. So that's why these also the important names. So that I understand like that these were, so that's why I just do the so work the reading, but I try to read them too. These were the dukes that came over Aholibama, the daughter of Anna, Esau's wife. 19. These are the sons of Esau, who is Edom, and these are their dukes. 20. These are the sons of Seir, the Horite, who inhabited the land Lotan and Sehobah and Gibeon and Anna. 21. And this son, and Ezer and this son. These are the dukes of the Horite, the children of Seir in the land of Edom. 22. And the children of Lotan were Hori and Hemam, and the Lotan's sister was Timnah. And 23. And the children of Shehobah were these: Arvan and Menahas and Eber, Shephor and Onam. 24. And these are the children of Gibeon, and both Ajar and Anna. This was that Anna that found the mules in the wilderness as he fed the asses of Gibeon, his father. 25. And the children of Anna were this one, and Aholibama, the daughter of Anna. 26. And these are the children of Dishon, Hamdan and Ashban and Izaran and Cheran. The 27, the children of Ezer are these: Birhan and Javan and Akan. The 28, the children of Disan are these: Uz and Aran. 29, these are the dukes that came of the Horites: Duke Lotan, Duke Sobar, Duke Jivon, Duke Anna. 30, Duke Dison, Duke Ezer and Disan. These are the dukes that came over Hori, among their dukes in the land of Seir. 31. And these are the kings that reigned in the land of Edom before there reigned a king over the children of Israel. 32. And Bela, the son of Beryl, reigned in Edom, and the name of his city was Dinhabah. And Bela died, and Jobab, the son of Jerah of Bozar, reigned in his stead. 34. And Jobab died, and Hoshem of the land of Temani reigned in his stead. 35. And Husam died, and Hadad, the son of Bedad, who smote Midian in the field of Moab, reigned in his stead, and the name of his city was Abid. 36. And Hadad died, and Shamla of Maacah reigned in his stead 37, and Samna died, and Saul of Rehoboth by the river reigned in his stead 38, and Saul died, and Balhanan, the son of Achbor, reigned in his stead 39, and Balhanan, the son of Achbor, died, and Hadar reigned in his stead, and the name of his city was Pau, and his wife's name was Mehetabel, and the daughter of Matred, the daughter of Mezahah. So God wrote all of his wife and the son of the Esau. So that's why if I just read the 36 around there, the other the kind of lots of names, I even didn't read them. But now that's why I'm speak out to read that. I want to understand the love of God. Sometimes the cannot understand. They hate us, the jealous us, or even. But I did like that. So I can, compare with this. Sometimes we understand what's the love of God because the love, the level is different. The God's love and our love. That's why God tells us, love your even enemies too. So the 3640, and these are the names of the dukes and came of Esau according to their families after their place by their names: Duke Timnah, Duke Alba, Duke Jethes, 41, Duke Aholibama, Duke Ella, Duke Pinon, 42, Duke Kenaz, Duke Teman, and Duke Mibjar, 43, Duke Magdiel, Duke Iram. These be dukes of Edom, according to their habitations in the land of. It's just wait. Last verse, it just go up and then. Not clear, so that's why I'm just waiting the 37 and just go 37, 40. It's all the read hard name. I try to read. I just thought instead of my reading, especially the names and place, I put the native speakers one, but I don't mind not like that. The 43 Duke Madier and Duke Iram. These be the dukes of Edom because according to their habitations in the land of their possession. He is Esau, father of the Edomites. The last verse of 36. Yeah, that's the Edomites. They are still lived around the East Asia, the Iraq, Iran, and the Israel around there. Genesis 37. That is a start, verse 1. And Jacob dealt in the land wherein his father was a stranger, in the land of Canaan. 2. These are the generations of Jacob. Joseph, being 17 years old, was feeding the flock with his brethren, and the lad was with the sons of Bilhah and with the sons of Zilpah, his father's wives. And Joseph brought unto his father their evil report. 3. Now Israel loved Joseph more than all his children, because he was the son of his old age, and he made him a coat of many colors. Yeah, because of his prejudice love, that cause the history or go on like that. So it will be cause there are results of our history too. So we just, if we have free time, we just make the change. If the Jacob did not the give one-side love, then we don't know exactly about the story. God will be more the read us more good. I don't know. That's the history. Because he was the son of his old age. The 37 verse 3, and he made him a coat of many colors. Maybe I jealous too, if I just as brothers and sisters, the other side of the children. I did too jealous, envy to the other, the Joseph. As 37 4. And when his brethren saw that their father loved him more than all his brethren, they hated him and could not speak peaceably unto him. 5. And Joseph dreamed a dream, and he told it his brethren, and they hated him yet the more. 6. And he said unto them, Hear, I pray you, this dream which I have dreamed. 7. For behold, we were binding sheaves in the field, and lo, my sheaf arose and also stood upright, and behold, your sheaves stood round about and made obeisance, the OBEISANC is the old term like that. Obeisance to my sheep. Maybe the father Jacob give one-side love, though, but the Joseph did not accept and then share his love for his brothers. Maybe also how to change the history too. So we have to think about that, but don't waste time. God, always lead us. So you go to directly, God, please help us, give us our wisdom, your way, which will better your way than my way. 8. And his brethren said to him, Shall you indeed reign over us? Or shall you indeed have dominion over us? And they hated him yet the more for his dreams and for his words. 9. And he dreamed yet another dream, and told it his brethren, and said, Behold, I have dreamed a dream more, and behold, the sun and the moon and the 11 stars made obedience to me. So that's why why this will be so exciting, interesting story go on. So that's why I just read first from 34 instead of 37. 37 is the so famous history. So most of people knows this, the exciting, funny story. Not funny, the miserable sometimes, but the go to happy story. But most of people don't know 34, 35, 36 behind the story. So I just read it first from that. And 37, 10, and he told it to his father and to his brethren, and his father rebuked him and said unto him, What is this dream that thou hast dreamed? Shall I and your mother and your brethren indeed come to bow down ourselves to the earth? 11. And his brethren envied him, but his father observed the same. 12. And his brethren went to feed their father's flock in Shechem. 13. And Israel said unto Joseph, Do not your brethren feed the flock in Shechem? Come, and I will send you unto them. And he said to him, Here am I. 14. And he said to him, Go, I pray thee, see whether it be well with your brethren and well with the flocks, and bring me word again. So he sent him out of the vale of Hebron, and he came to Shechem. 15. And a certain man found him, and behold, he was wandering in the field. And the man asked him, saying, what seekest you? And 16. And he said, I seek my brethren. Tell me, I pray thee, where they feed their flocks. 17. And the man said, they are departed hence, for I heard them say, let us go to Dothan. And Joseph went after his brethren and found them in Dothan. 18. And when they saw him afar off, even before he came near unto them, they conspired against him to slay him. 19. And they said one to another, behold, this dreamer cometh. 20. Come now therefore, and let us slay him and cast him into some pit, and we will say some evil beast has devoured him, and we shall see what will become of his dreams. 21. And Reuben heard it, and he delivered him out of their hands, and said, let us not kill him. Nor 22. And Reuben said unto them, shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hand upon him, that he might lead him out of their hands, to deliver him to his father again. 23. And it came to pass, when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they stripped Joseph out of his coat, his coat of many colors that was on him. 24. And they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty, there was no water in it. 25. And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted up their eyes and looked, and behold, the company of Ishmaelites came from Gilead, with their camels bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry down to Egypt. 26. And Judah said unto his brethren, what profit is it if we slay our brother and conceal his blood? 27. Come, and let us sell him to Ishmaelites, and let not our band be upon him, for he is our brother, our flesh. And his brethren were content. And 28. Then there passed by Midianites, merchantmen, and they drew and lifted up Joseph out of the pit, and sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver, and they brought Joseph into Egypt. And Reuben returned unto the pit, and behold, Joseph was not in the pit, and ran to his brothers. 30. And he returned unto his brethren, and said, the child is not, and whither shall I go? 31. And they took Joseph's coat, and killed the kid of the goats, and dipped the coat in the blood. 32. And they sent the coat of many colors, and they brought it to their father, and said, this have we found. No, now whether it be your son's coat or no. 33. And he knew it, and said, it is my son's coat. An evil beast has devoured him. Joseph is without doubt rent in pieces. 34. And Jacob rent his clothes, and put sackcloth upon his loins, and mourned for his son many days. 35. And all his sons and all his daughters rose up to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted, and he said, for I will go down into the grave unto my son mourning. Thus his father wept for him the 37 last verse 36, and the Midianites sold him into Egypt unto Potiphar, on the officer of Pharaohs and the captain of the guard. Let's go to the 38, chapter 38, verse 1. Yeah, excuse me. And it came to pass at the time that Judah went down from his brethren and turned into a certain Adullamite, whose name was Hira, 2. And Judah saw their daughter of a certain Canaanite, whose name was Shua, and he took her and went in unto her. 3. And she conceived and bare a son. He called his name Er. 4. And she conceived again and bare a son, and she called his name Onan. 5. And she yet again conceived and bare a son, and called his name Shelah. And he was at Chebbi. It is hard. Cheziv. Cheviz is hard. Still. Cheziv. Yeah, Cheziv. When she bare him. And 6. And Judah took a wife for Er, his firstborn, whose name was Tamar. 7. And Er, Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him. Yeah, Lord, in the sight of the Lord, and the Lord slew him, because so wicked, Judah's firstborn. Judah also, yeah, you know about the Judah. The 8. And the Judah said unto Onan, Go in unto your brother's wife, and marry her, and raise up seed to your brother. 9. And Onan knew that the seed should not be his, and it came to pass when he went in unto his brother's wife, that he spilled it on the ground, lest that he should give seed to his brother. 10. And the thing which he did displeased the Lord, wherefore he slew him also. 11. Then said Judah to Tamar, his daughter-in-law, Remain a widow at your father's house till Selah my son be grown. For he said, lest peradventure he died also, as his brethren did. And Tamar went and dwelt in her father's house. 12. And in process of time, the daughters of Shua, Judah's wife, died, and Judah was comforted and went up unto his sheep shearers to Timnath, he and his friend Hira, the Adullamite. So this is the not common sense, things happened, but we have to remember why these all things happened. This will be the Jesus lineage. So we have to know about this. The 13, though we like a kind of Hosea's wife also, harlot, but this is not history. But God, even this kind of history go on, God intercede for us. He knew it, all these kind of things. So we have to know about more, understand this, So chapter 38, 13. And it was told Tamar, saying, Behold, your father-in-law goes up to Timnath to share his sleep. 14. And she put her widow's garments off from her, and covered her with a veil, and wrapped herself, and sat in an open place which is by the way to Timnah. For she saw the Shelah was grown, and she was not given unto him to wife. 15. When Judah saw her, he thought her to be an harlot because she had covered her face. 16. And he turned unto her by the way and said, Go to, I pray thee, let me come in unto thee, for he knew not that she was his daughter-in-law. And she said, What wilt you give me, that thou may come in unto me? 17. And he said, I will send thee a kid from the flock. And she said, Will you give me a pledge to you send it? 18. And he said, What pledge shall I give thee? And she said, Thy signet and thy bracelets and thy staff, and that is in your hand. And he gave it her, and came in unto her, and she conceived by him. 19. And she arose and went away, and laid by her veil from her, and put on the garments of her widowhood. 20. And Judah sent the kid by the hand of his friend the Adullamite to receive his pledge from the woman's hand, but he found her not. 21. Then he asked the man of that place, saying, Where is the harlot that was openly by the wayside? And they said, There was no harlot in this place. So 22, and he returned to Judah and said, I cannot find her. And also the man of the place said that there was no harlot in this place. He, also heard her voice, and he didn't interesting to her Loin daughter and the other symptom, but most of men didn't know about that. The not sensitive than the woman. So 23, yeah. And Judah said that let her take it to her, lest we be ashamed. Behold, I sent this kid, and you have not found her. 24. And it came to pass about 3 months later that it was told to Judah, saying, Tamar, your daughter-in-law, has played the harlot, and also, behold, she is with child by whoredom. And Judah said, Bring her forth and let her be burnt. 25. When she was brought forth, she sent to her father-in-law, saying, By the man whose these are, am I with child? And she said, This son, I pray thee, whose are these? The signet and the bracelets and staff. 26. And Judah acknowledged them and said, She has been more righteous than I. Yes. Though she did it, what Judah said, You are the more righteous than I, because that I gave her not to Shelah my son, and he knew her again no more. This Shelah is the same term at Psalm. We just read it. Psalm, there are Shelah, the same Shelah, or I don't know exactly, but the similar like Shelah. 21. Why? His youngest son's name is Shelah. I don't know. And God knew about Judah's family lineage like this. They are often, anyway. 27. And it came to pass in the time of her travail that, behold, the twins were in her womb. 28. And it came to pass when she travailed that the one put out his hand, and the midwife took and bound upon his hand a scarlet thread, saying, This came out first. 29. And it came to pass as he drew back his hand that, behold, his brother came out. And she said, How have you broken forth this bridge be upon you. Therefore, his name was called Peraz 30. And afterward came out his brother that had the scarlet thread upon his hand, and his name was called Zerah. Perez. Perez is the familiar name, the lineage of Jesus, Perez. Yeah, 39. Here is the 39. If I read just the chapter, the 10 more, I need to drink thirsty, so sorry about it. Yes. 39. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him of the hands of the Ishmaelites, which had brought him down thither. Why there are 38, the other story. 37 to 39 is the story of Joseph. So remember that on too. I also think about that. And Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. 3. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand. 4. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had he put into his hand. 5. And it came to pass from the time that he had made him overseer in his house and over all that he had, that the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake, and the blessing of the Lord was upon all that he had in the house and in the field. 6. Excuse me. And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and he knew not aught he had save the bread which he divided. And Joseph was a goodly man and well favored, a goodly person and well favored. 7. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, Lie with me. 8. But he refused and said unto his master's wife, Behold, my master wrote, wotteth not that is with me in the house, and he has committed all that he had to my hand. 9. There is none greater in this house than I, neither has he kept back anything from me but you, because you are his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? 10. And it came to pass, as she spake to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her to lie by her or to be with her. Joseph here said, how against God? But I just remind Jacob just, to his father, God knows that. God knows this. So, yeah, compare with, the Jacob's to his father, and here Joseph, his grandson, just said, I don't against God. 10, and then 11. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house there with him. 12. And she caught him by his garment, saying, Lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out. 13. And it came to pass when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and was fled forth. 14. That she called unto the men of her house and spake unto them, saying, See, he has brought in an Hebrew unto us to mock us. He came unto me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice. 15. And it came to pass when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, and he left his garment with me and fled and got him out. 16. And she laid up his garment by her until his Lord came home. 17. And she spake unto him according to these words, saying that the Hebrew servant which thou hast brought unto us came in unto me to mock me. 18. And it came to pass, as I lifted up my voice and cried, and he left his garment with me and fled out. 19. And it came to pass, when his master heard the words of his wife, which she spake unto him, saying, After this manner did thy servant to me, that his wrath was kindled. 20. And Joseph's master took him and put him into the prison, a place where the king's prisoners were bound, and he was there in the prison. 21. But the Lord was with Joseph and shewed him mercy and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. 22. And the keeper of the prison committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners that were in the prison, and whatsoever they did there, he was the doer of it. 23. 39, but the last verse, 23. The keeper of the prison looked not to anything that was under his hand, because the Lord was with him. Because the Lord was with him, and that which he did, the Lord made it to prosper. And Lord made prosper. And chapter 40, verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that the butler of the king of Egypt and his baker had opened their lord, the king of Egypt. Verse 2, and Pharaoh was wroth against two of his officers, against the chief of the butlers and against the chief of the bakers. 3, and he put them in ward in the house of the captain of the guard into the prison and the place where Joseph was bound. 4, and the captain of the guard charged Joseph with them, and he served them, and they continued the season in ward. 5, and they dreamed the dream, both of them, each man his dream in one night, each man according to the interpretation of his dream, and butler and the baker of the king of Egypt, which were bound in the prison. 6, and Joseph came in unto them in the morning and looked upon them, and behold, they were sad. 7, and he asked Pharaoh's officers that were with him in the ward of his Lord's house, saying, Wherefore look ye so sadly today? 8, and they said unto him, We have dreamed a dream, and there is no interpreter of it. And Joseph said unto them, Do not interpretation belong to God? Tell me them, I pray you. Interpretations belong to God. And 9, and the chief butler told his dream to Joseph and said to him, In my dream, behold, the vine was before me, and in the vine were the 3 branches, and it was as though it budded, and her blossoms shot forth, and the clusters thereof brought forth ripe grapes, and brought forth ripe grapes. And 11, and the Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes and pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, and I gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. And the 12, and Joseph said unto him, This is the interpretation of it. The 3 branches are 3 days. 13, yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift off your head, and restore you unto your place, and you shall deliver Pharaoh's cup into his hand after the former manner when you were his butler. Yeah, okay. Butler's case this. The 14, but think on me when it shall be well with thee, and shew kindness, I pray you, unto me, and make mention of me unto Pharaoh, and bring me out of this house. 15, for indeed I was stolen away out of the land of the Hebrews, and here also have I done nothing that they should put me into the dungeon. Yeah, we have to say about our situation, because so indeed I was stolen away out of the land of the Hebrews, and here also I have done nothing, and they should put me into the dungeon. So remember the good situation. So we have to tell about my story. The God give the situation, the time. Yes, 16. And when the chief baker saw that the interpretations was good, he said unto Joseph, I also was in my dream, and behold, I had 3 white baskets on my head. And 17. And in the uppermost basket there was all manner of baked meats for Pharaoh, and the birds did eat them out of the basket upon my head. And Joseph, 18, answered and said, this is the interpretation thereof. And 3 baskets are 3 days. 19. Yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up your head from off you, and shall hang you on a tree, and the birds shall eat your flesh from off you. And 20. And it came to pass the 3rd day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants, and he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among his servants. 21. And he restored the chief butler unto his butlership again, and he gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. And 22. But he hanged the chief baker, as Joseph had interpreted to them. 40, last verse, 23. Yet did not the chief butler remember Joseph, but forget him. Yeah. And then chapter 41, the verse 1, we'll start to still go on Joseph's story. So I wonder it will be go the 41 and 42 like that. So we'll stop the other story, move to the other story. Chapter 41, verse 1. And it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river. 2, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kine, K-I-N-E, kine, and fat-fleshed, and they fed in a meadow. 3, and behold, the 7 other kine, K-I-N-E, kine me up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean-fleshed, and stood by the other kine upon the brink of the river. And 4, and the ill-favored and the lean-fleshed kine, maybe corn, did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kine. So Pharaoh awoke, and 5, and he slept, and excuse me, excuse me. Oh, so sorry. And he slept and dreamed the 2nd time, and behold, the 7 years of corn came off upon the stalk, rank and good. And 6, and behold, the 17 years, and blessed with the east wind sprung up after them. And 7, and the 17 years devoured the 7 rank and 4 years, and Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. 8. And it came to pass in the morning, and that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt, and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh. 41:9. Then spake the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my force this day. 10. Pharaoh was wroth with his servants, and put me in ward in the captain of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. 11. And we dreamed a dream in one night, I and he. We dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. 12. And there was there with us a young man, an Hebrew servant to the captain of the guard, and we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams, to each man according to his dream he did interpret. So all the history like this. 13. And it came to pass as he interpreted to us, so it was me he restored unto mine office, and him he hanged. 14. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon, and he shaved himself and changed his raiment, and came in unto Pharaoh. 15. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee, thou canst understand the dream to interpret it. 16. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, It is not me. God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. 17. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph in my dream, Behold, I stood upon the bank of the river. 18. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, K-I-N-E, maybe ox, fat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in a meadow, and behold, 7 other kine came up after them, 4, and every ear favored and lean fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness. 20. And lean and the ear favored kind did eat up the first 7 fat kine. 21. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill-favored as at the beginning. So I awoke. 21. 22. And I saw in my dream, and behold, the 7 ears came up in one stalk full and good. 23. And behold, the 7 years withered, thin and blessed, with the east wind sprung up. Sorry. Because my video work published and pop up the screen, so I have to erase. I have to erase this, and then I can see the Bible verse. So sorry about that. Yes, I will show you this. So pretty, huh? So little flowers, and the other one too, because it is so. Yeah. So I just use this cup. This I still wait this yellow rose. This will be more the smell fragrance here. Fragrance. Yeah. So good. It still go on. Just wait. Yeah. Go. Please go on. So, yes. Go up. Wow. Let's go up. 22. Yeah, 22. Right. Maybe almost yes, from 22. 22. And I saw in my dream, and behold, the 7 years came up in one stick. I take a little rest, so it's good. In one stove, full and good. 23. And behold, the 7 years withered, thin, and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them. 24. And the thin years devoured the 7 good years. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. I remember the Daniel's as the Nebuchadnezzar's, the Babylonian king dreamt kind of dream, but he did not even know that dream. But this king Pharaoh remember his dream, so I can contrast with that almost a similar dream, because God showed this kind of dream to show the people through God's servant Daniel and this Joseph. And 25. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. God has showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. Why God just give this kind of processing to just know the king, the Gentile kings, and then his servant just let the dream know that, because if king has the many his people, so it will be more the efficient effect of the spread of God's truth. Yes, God wants to know himself, God himself. But 26 go on. The 7 good kind are 7 years, and the 7 good years are 7 years, and the dream is 1. 27. And the 7 thin and ill-favored kin or that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 empty years blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. 28. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh, what God is about to do, he showed unto Pharaoh. 29. Behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. 30. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. 31. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. 32. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice, it is because the thing is established by God. Yes, here. The thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass. 33. Now, therefore, let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt. 34. That let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the 5th part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years. 35. And let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. 36. And that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. 37. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of all his servants. 37. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, Can we find such a one as this is a man in whom the Spirit of God is? 39. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Forasmuch as God has showed you all this, there is none so discreet and wise as you are. 40. You shall be over my house, and according unto your word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than you. 41. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, See, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt. 42. And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand and arrayed him in ventures of fine linen and put a gold chain about his neck. 43. And he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had, and they cried before him, Bow knee, and he made him rule over all the land of Egypt. Yeah, just the children so like this story. I also like this story. God has the kind of I forget the vocabulary term. In the movie there are I forget it. And the 44. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. 45. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Japhanetaphaneah, and he gave him to wife Athena, the daughter of Potiphera, priest of On. And Joseph went out over all the land of Egypt. Potiphar, General Potiphar, not the priest Potiphar. So 46. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Egypt. 47. And in the 7 plenteous years, the earth brought forth by handfuls. 48. And he gathered all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities, the food of the field which was round about every city laid he up in the same. 49. And Joseph gathered corn as the sand of the sea very much until he left lumbering, for it was without number. 50. And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of the famine came, which and Athena, the daughter of Potiphera, a priest of On, bare unto him. 51. And Joseph called the name of the firstborn Manasseh, for God said, He has made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. Yes. Because of the baby, he forget all his toil. Like that. And 52. And the name of the second called he Ephraim, for God has caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. 53. And 7 years of plenteousness that was in the land of Egypt were ended. 54. And the 7 years of theirs began to come. Theirs began to come according as Joseph had said, and theirs that is like that. Theirs was in all lands. but in all the land of Egypt there was bread. 55. And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried the Pharaoh for bread, and Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, Go unto Joseph, that what he says to you do. 56. And the famine was over all the face of the earth, and Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians, and the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt. 57. And all countries came into Egypt to Joseph for to buy corn, because that the famine was so sore in all lands. Yes. Yeah. 42, chapter 42, it will going on the story about Joseph. And 41, verse 1, now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, Why do you look on upon another? 2, and he said, Behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down either, and buy for us from then, that we may live and not die. 3, and Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt but Benjamin, Joseph's brother, Jacob sent not with his brethren, for he said, lest peradventure mischief before him. Still prejudice with his love, one side love. 5, and the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. 6, and Joseph was the governor over the land, and it was that sword to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. 7, and Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself a stranger unto them, and spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, Whence come you? And they said, From the land of Canaan, to buy food. 8, and Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew not him. 9, and Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them, and said unto them, You are spies, to see the nakedness of the land you are come. 10, and they said unto him, Nay, my Lord, but to buy food are your servants come. 11, we are all one man's sons, we are true men, your servants are no spies. 12, and he said unto them, Nay, but to see the nakedness of the land you are come. 13, and they said, Your servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is not. 14, and Joseph said unto them, That is it that spake unto you, saying, You are spies. 15, hereby you shall be proved by the life of Pharaoh, you shall not go forth hence, except your youngest brother come here. 16, send one of you, and let him fetch your brother, and you shall be kept in prison, and your words may be proved, whether there be any truth in you, or else by the life of Pharaoh, surely you are spies. 17, and he put them all together into ward 3 days. 18, and Joseph said unto them the third day, these two, they already died during the third day, 3 days. There are lots of 3 days during in the grave of Jesus and the other. Yeah, just to think about the numbers, same numbers, these two. And live, for I fear God. 19, if you two men let one of your brethren be bound in the house of your prison, go you carry corn for the famine of your house. 20, but bring your youngest brother unto me, so shall your words be verified, and you shall not die. And they did so. 21, And they said one to another, we are verily guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the anguish of his soul. Yeah. When he besought us, and we would not hear, therefore is this distress come upon us. Remember there, the brother Joseph. The result, same result, 22. And Reuben answered them, saying, spake I not unto you, saying, do not sin against the child, and you do not hear. Therefore, behold, also his blood is required. Yes, his blood is required. 23. And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for he spake unto them by an interpreter. 24. And he turned himself about from them and wept, and returned to them again, and communed with them, and took from them Simon, and bound him before their eyes. 25. Then Joseph commanded to fill their sacks with corn, and to restore every man's money into his sack, and to give them provision for the way. And thus did he unto them. 26. And they laded their asses with the corn, and departed them. 27. And as one of them opened his sack to give his ass provender, in the end he espied his money, for behold, it was in his sack's mouth. 28. And he said unto his brethren, my money is restored, and lo, it is even in my sack. And their heart failed them, and they were afraid, saying one to another, what is this that God has done unto us? 29. And they came unto Jacob their father unto the land of Canaan, and told him all that befell unto them, saying, 30. The man who is the Lord of the land spake lawfully to us, and took us for spies of the country. 31. And we said unto him, we are true men, we are no spies. 32. We be 12 brethren, sons of our father. One is not, and the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan. 33. And the man, the Lord of country, said unto us, hereby shall I know that you are true men. Leave on your brethren here with me, and take food for the famine of your households, and be gone. 34. And bring your youngest brother unto me. Then shall I know that you are no spies, that you are true men. So will I deliver you your brother, and you shall traffic in the land. That's the old tongue too. 35. And it came to pass, as they emptied their sacks, that behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when both they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. 36. And Jacob their father said unto them, me have ye bereaved of my children. Joseph is not, and Simon is not, and you will take Benjamin away. All these things are against me. 37. And Reuben spake unto his father, saying, slay my two sons, if I bring him not to thee. Deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him to thee again. 38. And he said, my son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone. If mischief befall him by the way in the which you go, then shall you bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave. That will be the last verse, 38 of chapter 42. 43 to going on still the Joseph story. The verse 1. And the famine was sore in the land, and it came to pass when they had eaten up the corn which they had brought out of Egypt, their father said unto them, Go again, buy us a little food. And Judah spake unto him, saying, The man did solemnly protest unto us, saying, You shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. 43, 4. If you will send our brother with you, also we will go down and buy you food. 5. But if you will not send him, we will not go down. For the man said unto us, You shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. And 6. And Israel said, Wherefore dealt you so ill with me, so as to tell the man whether you had yet the brother. 7. And they said, The man asked us straightly of our state and of our kindred, saying, Is your father yet alive? Have you another brother? And we told him according to the tenor of these words. Could we certainly know that he would say, Bring your brother down? 8. And Judah said unto Israel his father, Send the lad with me, and we will arise and go, that we may live and not die, both we and you, and also our little ones. 9. I will be surety for him. On my hand shall you require him. If I bring him not unto you and set him before you, then let me bear the blame forever. 10. For except we had lingered, surely now we had returned this second time. 11. And their father Israel said unto them, If it must be so now, do this. Take of the best fruits in the land in your vessels, and carry down the man a present, a little balm and a little honey, spice and myrrh, nuts and almond. 12. And take double money in your hand, and the money that was brought again in the mouth of your sacks, carrying it again in your hand. Peradventure it was on oversight. 13. Take also your brother, and arise, go again unto the man. 14. And God Almighty give you mercy before the man, that he may send away your other brother and Benjamin. If I be bereaved of my children, I am bereaved. 15. And the men took their present, and they took a double money in their hand, and Benjamin and rose up and went down to Egypt and stood before Joseph. 16. And when Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the ruler of his house, Bring this man home and slay and make ready, for these men shall dine with me at noon. 17. And the man did as Joseph bade, and the man brought the man into Joseph's house. 18. And the men were afraid, because they were brought into Joseph's house, and they said, Because of the money that was returned in our sacks at the first time we brought in, that he may seek occasion against us and fall upon us and take us for bondmen and our asses. 19. And they came near to the steward of Joseph's house, and they communed with him at the door of the house. 20. And said, O sir, we came indeed down at the first time to buy food. 21. And it came to pass, when we came to the inn, and that we opened our sacks, and behold, every man's money was in the mouth of his sack. our money in full weight, and we have brought it again in our hand. 22. And other money have we brought down in our hands to buy food. We cannot tell who put our money in our sacks. 23. And he said, peace be to you, fear not your God, and the God of your father hath given you treasure in your sacks. I had your money, and we brought Simon out unto them. 24. And the man brought the men into Joseph's house, and gave them order, and gave worship their feet, and he gave their ass provender. 25. And they made ready the present again. Joseph came at noon, for they heard that they should eat bread there. 26. And when Joseph came home, they brought him the present which was in their hand into the hand that bowed themselves to him to the earth. 27. Sorry. And 27. And he asked them of their welfare, and said, is your father where? The old man of whom ye spake, is he yet alive? 28. And they answered, thy servant our father is in good health, he is yet alive. And they bowed down their heads and made obedience. 29. And he lifted up his eyes and saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son, and said, is this your young brother of whom ye spake unto me? And he said, God be gracious unto thee, my son. 30. And Joseph made haste, for his voice did yawn upon his brother, and he sought where to weep, and he entered into his chamber and wept there. 31. And he washed his face and went out and refrained himself, and sat on bread. 32. And they sat on for him by himself, and for them by themselves, and for the Egyptians which did it with him by themselves, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination unto the Egyptians. 33. And they set before him the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men marveled one at another. Yes, 34. And he took the last verse of 43. And he took and sent messages unto them from before him, but Benjamin's mass was 5 times so much as any of theirs, and that they drank and were merry with him. This is almost 44 chapter. It will be Joseph's last story. I don't have energy now, so I'll try to finish, but Joseph's story not finished yet, so I'll try to. The 44 verse 1. And he commanded the steward of his house, saying, fill the men's sacks with food as much as they can carry, and put every man's money in his sack's mouth. So that's why you have to read in your young age. So I'm an old age woman, so it is hard to 1 hour more reading. So, but it is hard to like that. I try maybe almost 2 hours. So I go 44 verse 2, and put my cup, the silver cup, in the sacks of mouth of the youngest and his corn money, and he did according to the word that Joseph had spoken. 3. As soon as the morning was light, The men were sent away, they and their asses. And when they were gone out of the city and not yet far off, the Joseph said unto his steward of, follow after the man, and when thou do overtake them, say unto them, wherefore have you rewarded evil for good? 5. Is not this it in which my Lord drinks, and whereby indeed he divines you have done evil in so doing? Yeah. If I have energy more, the rapidly go on, it's more interesting. Yeah, God has climax. God's history has climax and down and up and down. So that's why more exciting. And 6, and he overtook them, and he spake unto them these same words. 7, and they said unto him, wherefore says my Lord these words? God forbid that your servants should do according to this thing. 8, behold, the money which we found in our sacks' mouth, we brought again unto thee out of the land of Canaan. How then should we steal out of your Lord's house silver or gold? 9, with whomsoever of your servants if be found, both let him die, and we also will be my Lord's bondmen. Sorry, the character just to show out. 10, and he said, now also let it be according unto your words, be with whom it is found shall be my servant, and you shall be blameless. 11, then they speedily took down every man his sack to the ground, and opened every man his sack. Yes, they can show their characters, so the rapid character, and speedily already speech out the will be die. 12, and he searched and began at the eldest and left at the youngest, and the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. 13, then the climax to go. Then they rent their clothes and laid every man his ass and returned to the city. And Judah and his brethren came to Joseph's house, for he was yet there, and they fell before him on the ground. And Joseph said unto them, what is this that you have done? Were you not that such a man as I can certainly divine? 16, and Judah said, what shall we say unto my Lord? What shall we speak, or how shall we clear ourselves? God has found out the iniquity of your servants. Behold, we are my Lord's servants, both we and he also with whom the cup is found. 17, and he said, God forbid that I should do so, but the man in whose hand the cup is found, he shall be my servant, and you for you. As for you, get you up in peace unto your father. 18, then Judah came near unto him and said, O my Lord, let my servant, I pray thee, speak a word in my Lord's ears, and let not thine anger burn against your servant, for you are even as Pharaoh. 19, my Lord asked his servant, saying, have you a father or you a brother? For 20, and we said unto my Lord, we have a father, an old man, and a child of his old age, a little one, and his brother is dead, and he alone is left of his mother, and his father loves him. 21, and you said unto your servants, bring him down unto me, that I may set mine eyes upon him. 22, and we said unto my Lord, the lad cannot leave his father, for if he should leave his father would die. Yeah, it's good. Yes, because the emotion gathered together. So I'm so sorry. 23. And you said unto your servants, except your youngest brother come down with you, you shall see my face no more. 24. And it came to pass, when it came up unto your servant my father, we told him the words of my Lord. And 25. And our father said, you go again and buy us a little food. 26. And we said, we cannot go down. If our youngest brother be with us, then we will go down, for we may not see the man's face, except our youngest brother will be with us. 27. And thy servant my father said unto us, you know that my wife bare me 2 sons. 28. And the one went out from me, and I said, surely he is torn in pieces, and I saw him not since. 29. And if you take this also from me, and mischief before him, you shall bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to the grave. 30. Now therefore, when I come to your servant my father, and the lad be not with us, seeing that his life is bound up in the last life, for his life. 31. It shall come to pass, when it see that the lad is not with us, that he will die, and your servants shall bring down the gray hairs of your servant our father with sorrow to the grave. Yeah. For your servant became surety for the lad unto my father, saying, if I bring him not unto thee, then I shall bear the flame to my father forever. 33. Now therefore I pray thee, let thy servant abide instead of the lad bondman to die to my Lord, and let the lad go up with his brethren. 34. For how shall I go up to my father, and the lad be not with me, lest peradventure I see the evil that shall come on my father. This will be the last of 44, verse 34. Yeah, not just to go one more, maybe a story will be still left. 45. But I will try to go on the check what's the hour it takes reading this story. Yeah, the 1.5 hours more, so I will stop here. 147. So I want to go one more, but almost 50, so I will stop here. 짜자잔, 다다다, because you fear the climax. So go maybe 46, almost done, till 50. So I'll try to read from the Joseph's story, but maybe almost 4 chapters. So I wondered where start from. So I try to do the next almost 5. The 5th parts will be what chapter. So thank you, my dear brothers and sisters. Almost 2 hours. It is hard to me. So I need a kind of nap, but I still, yes. Thank you. I love you, my brothers and sisters. Share with discuss love. Yes, it's really pretty, huh? So thank you. See you again. Bye. I'll see you again. See you again. Where is my? Yeah, here. I didn't see you even. Yeah, now I can see you right correctly. So I can, yeah, control this. But I didn't see you even during I just read it because I opened the other, the Bible version, and I just guess you are here. So I'm just looking you now. This will be the camera eyes. But thank you. Yeah, I will show the other one too here. Yeah, this is the so low one that I got. Because these rows cut the small, you know, how do you call that? Twigs, small. So I use this, the small one. And then the compare with this, yeah, this one is long, this one is short. Yeah, this is so cute. I don't buy flowers. If I just look around, just only one, you know, flower or the grass like this. Or if there are no more, so I just grew up the kind of bean sprouts, then the radish sprout like that. Thank you. I love you. I don't want to turn off, so that's why I am doing like this.